Welcome, soup lovers. This is an attempt uh, about so many people that complain on this site about recipes aren't left for soups, even though they're under files that people don't even look at before complaining, often leaving the group. This video I created to show not only how to make beef soup for those of you that can't read, but to also illustrate how often recipes don't teach you how to cook. Therefore, I'll attempt to provide a cooking tip for each of the following framed steps in making my beef soup without a recipe. If you notice, the potatoes are partially peeled and there are beans on board. When adding potatoes to soup or making mashed, consider peeling most of the skin but leaving some for flavor. But if you leave too much, you might get more of an earthy flavor than you care for. Leftover beans are good in soups as well. Just know that you should strain off any bean juice to keep from imparting some unwanted flavors. Purple carrots have a lot more flavor than orange. We made them orange. They used to be purple. Keep your water level low when you boil these, just enough to do the job. That way you can leave it in the soup, and then again, it'll add some nice flavor. Saute your veggies separate. People make the mistake of just throwing them in with everything else. Saute them nice and slow and low. Give them that good flavor they deserve. Garlic oil mix. I mince my garlic, put it in a little jar, fill it up with olive oil, and I saute everything with that stuff. It really is handy, and it really adds a lot of good flavor to different things. But make sure that when you brown that garlic, brown it slow. If you brown it fast and burn it, you're going to get another bitter taste that you're not looking for. Small amount of meat's just fine for beef soup. You don't have to have a lot. I'm retired and I'm on a fixed income. I don't have a big old roast to throw in there, nor do I want to. A little bit works. Just make sure you got the gravy with it. Take that meat out, chop it up, throw it on top of the saute. That adds more flavor into that meat and gets a lot of that yummy garlic and onion flavor, and it sticks it right into that beef. Now, there's a lot of fresh taste ingredients, tomatoes, and cilantro. I don't think I have a lime shown there, but those things are great to freshen up the flavor of that soup at the end of it. Add them last. Make sure you don't cook them too long. Keep them fresh. Throw them in at the last minute. If you don't cook them at all, that's perfectly fine. They do wonders for freshening up that hunk of meat's been sitting in the back of your fridge for 2 weeks. Leave water for flavor from the potatoes and the carrots. Again, don't use too much water, so you don't want to make it too runny. Again, don't use the bean juice. It'll add a gritty flavor to your soup. But beans are great in soup, all kinds of soup, especially if they're left over. When I get the leftover gravy or roux from my beef, I like to scrape that grease off the top. That's that white that you see left over there. I don't like my soup too greasy. Add broth or not. What's the big argument? I don't understand why people always go back and forth on this. If you got a lot of people to feed, add the broth. If you don't, don't. For gosh sakes, taste the food as you cook it. People, they think that they're doing something terrible by trying the food out. Eat that food. Try it as you cook it. You got to know what it needs. Use ground fine pepper. Don't use that big old gnarly chunky stuff. That's fine. I mean, it's great for a pork chop or something like that. But when you cook recipes, use the fine pepper. And again, fresh lime adds fresh flavor. Put that on very last, but don't use too much. You don't want it to taste like lime. You just want it to taste fresh. And, remove the stems from your cilantro. You don't have to get them all out, but big ones will add bitterness to whatever you're cooking. People don't understand why their food's bitter, but they do things like leaving too many stems in the cilantro or cooking their garlic too fast. And there you go. That's good soup. It's easy. I used almost everything in it was left over in my fridge. I didn't go out and make a trip for anything. And it works really good. Over and out. Have a nice day.